Quick comparing soccer to chess. Soccer is not like a chess match, no matter how much you want it to be. In the game of chess, the pieces have specific rules that they must follow, and every single move has a predetermined outcome after that move. Looking at each move, we can actually objectively state which moves are better moves and which moves are worse moves because there are only so many possibilities on the chessboard. Soccer, however, is not like this. Soccer has an almost infinite possible outcomes for many different scenarios because it is a more complex game than a game like chess. Not to mention, human variability makes it even more unpredictable than a game of chess because, unlike a pawn, a knight, or a bishop on a chessboard, any soccer player can flip the script and do anything else that they want to do. Now, for obvious reasons, the chess and soccer comparison comes very, very strongly from the cult of the manager, the idea of the genius manager tactician that puts his players on the field like pawns on a chessboard and tells them how to play, what plays to make, and how to think. And this is very, very popular in the media, and it's probably best seen through the rivalry of Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho, as they were the two biggest tactical minds of their generation, and people often saw their games as Pep Guardiola versus Jose Mourinho more than actually the teams they were coaching at the time, and it's just not how this works. The fact of the matter is, every single player on the field actually has more say than the coach does on the sideline because they're the ones that actually have to make those decisions in the heat of the moment, and they have to execute those decisions at a high enough level to make them work out. Not to mention, they have to react to the decisions and execution of techniques from the opposition, or even react to their own mistakes. And this is why soccer will always be an infinitely more complex sport than a board game like chess. But why do people like this idea of soccer and chess? Well, in my opinion, it's a pseudo intellectual take because people view chess as the highest of intellectual competitiveness, when in reality, while chess is a wonderful game, part of the reason of its popularity is that it's actually more simple than much more complex systems like that in live sports like soccer. And one of the things that makes soccer fundamentally different than a game like chess is there often isn't one correct move that you can make, but rather dozens of potential correct moves, especially depending on the skill level or the athletic qualities of the specific player or the team in general. But also, the shades of incorrect moves are more gray as well. In chess, it's much more black and white, just like in the pieces. In soccer, it's much more gray, which is a much better comparison to the world in general, where we rarely have dichotomous right and wrong answers, but we have more often several valid answers and several possibly invalid answers. And at the end of the day, to have true street soccer smarts, you have to understand that and understand that not every decision can be the same, and not every correct decision will actually produce the outcome you think it will. So, instead of thinking of soccer mechanically, think of it fluidly and learn how to adapt to the complexity of the sport.